Hi, this is Shane Starr, and today I am talking about one of the general premises of typology, and that is that one's type stays the same his or her whole life. Now, the first thing I want to say, and really we could just start and end it right here, is that there's no scientific evidence to support this contention in the typology community. We know that, for instance, Dario Nardi has done a lot of experiments with brain mapping and sort of systematizing the science behind typing. But even Nardi explains that people's types change at least somewhat later in life. Now, I would hold that tragedies, religious conversions, changes in lifelong habits, extreme circumstances like going to war or something like that, gender, all these things contribute to what I would say counts as evidence to the contrary. But the main one is age. Okay, I don't think any MBTI based or socionics or Enneagram system takes age into sufficient account when it comes to typing people. And let's face it, age definitely plays a role in typing. I'll start with this. I would say two people of very different types together in a fraternity in college are going to come out as more alike in terms of just human experience and behavior than two people of the exact same type but far apart in age. Say, an ESTP who's 20 years old and an ESTP who's 65 years old. Those two people will be more different from one another than an ESTP and an ENFJ or something will be if they're friends in college, go to the same school or in the same fraternity. The kids will be more similar than the adult and the kid, regardless of type. To me, this is anecdotal evidence, but evidence nonetheless that age plays a role in typing, especially when it comes to trying to figure out a person's type. I would say that if you're 50 or older, you're probably 75% more likely to be an SJ type somehow that you supposedly have been your whole life. And if you're 18 to 25, you're more likely, unless you're a self-typed INFJ, of course, those people aside, anyone 18 to 25 is probably going to type as an EP. Okay? And I think there's something to that. It's because adults behave differently from young adults, who behave differently from teenagers, who behave differently from children, who behave differently from middle-aged people or old people. And why does this matter? I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I'm sick of the whole picture how you were at 25. That's not going to help me. Okay, if I'm trying to get typed by someone, which ultimately leads to advice and suggestions to help make your life better, the things I was doing at 25, I don't need help with now. I don't need help with over excess in drinking or partying or staying faithful or any of those things that would have given me or any of my friends, regardless of type, issues then. My issues are fully different now. Now, again, I think a better answer would be to, and this doesn't take anything away from typology or the truth of it, but maybe less ambitious but more practical answers to take people at face value where they're at here and now when you type them or try to type them, and not extrapolate right now into the distant future and distant past. I don't think it works that way. I think people can change. it's subject for a different video, but using myself as a perfect example, my good points and bad points right now are different than they were 3 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. I'm a completely different person. Certainly some elements remain the same. And I think my final big disclaimer is this: to say someone can change or can change types does not mean that people necessarily change types. Some people are the same type their whole life. They don't change, they don't grow, they don't develop, and they have the same problems at 55 that they had at 15. That's a fact. But other people do. There's stories all over about people changing, and I don't mean just changing in a moral sense. I mean literally changing. I'll give you one short example right now. If you've been watching any of my videos, you'll see I wear the same black suit every day. One thing I change is the color of my shirt. That's it. 5 years ago, new to the typing community, I had a different job, and that job was in Hollywood. And in Hollywood, you're supposed to dress differently. So I had a lot of bright outfits that I used to wear. And, because of that, I think I was typed differently than I would be if someone started typing me now. That's just one little tiny example on top of a mountain of other examples I could use from my own life and lives of other people. So it's just something to think about. The ultimate goal of typing is to know ourselves and help ourselves today, here, right now. Not, 25 years ago, yeah, if I knew my type, I could have did this or that. That doesn't help you today unless you're having those same problems today, which in fact, if that's the case, then you're probably the same type that you were then, right? Anyway, that's all I got today. I'm out.